Michel de Nostradamus, or Nostradamus as he is more commonly known, was a French seer born in 1503. He is credited with publishing a plethora of prophecies that have become famous for their uncanny accuracy. In 1555, he published a book called Les Prophéties, which included his major, long-term predictions. The quatrains foretold disasters of huge magnitude, including floods, wars, and earthquakes. In it, the next 2,000 years of humanity would be forecasted, throughout the year 3797. Some of his most famous prophecies that have come to pass include the rise and fall of Hitler, the French revolutions, the Great Fire of London, the death of Henry II, the atomic bomb, and even Donald Trump's presidency. For the year 2019, the following predictions are revealed. Sea levels will rise. According to the late prophet, in the year 2019, there's a reasonable chance that Antarctica's two most largest and vulnerable ice shelves will succumb to Earth's warming climate and eventually collapse into the sea. This will then cause a domino effect, causing more ice shelf collapses, leading to sea levels catastrophically rising rapidly. The Thwaites Glacier alone, an ice stream the size of Britain and likely to be the biggest single source of future sea level rises, could trigger the melting of enough water to raise global sea levels by 15 feet. This prediction is definitely coming true, as scientists are very alarmed due to the fact that it has been recently confirmed that ice from the sea, which forms and melts each year, has declined more than 60% in the past 25 years. This year it has been at the lowest extent ever recorded in history. In fact, the last time the world was this warm was 3 million years ago, when sea levels were dozens of feet higher. The rising of these sea levels will indefinitely introduce a global refugee crisis, more powerful hurricanes, economic destruction, flood and water crisis, global conflicts, and a major health crisis as well. China wins war with USA. During one of his deep meditation ritual sessions, the great prophet envisioned that the Western power would lose a war to a great power from the East in 2019. This makes total sense, as the US and China are in the early innings of a trade war, and many prominent economists agree that the United States is on a short track to lose. This is very bad news for Americans, as the US is hugely dependent on China as a source for low-cost goods to make ends meet for American consumers, and also dependent on China to buy treasuries to fund budget deficits, which, as you know, are getting larger. Economists have argued that restricting imports reduces consumer welfare and impedes productivity growth. This will also cause many countries to retaliate, and the estimated US job loss would total of over 3 million. The loss will also target soybean, corn, cotton, sorghum, and other U.S. agricultural industries. The additional tariff would result in the severe export decline, as well as the growing panic of U.S. farming and agricultural industry. Trump believes that he has the upper hand in this conflict because the U.S. economy is so strong, and also because politicians of both parties support the strategic objective of thwarting China's rise and preserving U.S. global dominance. Trump may be onto something here. Implanted microchips go mainstream. Nostradamus envisioned that the year 2019 would be the year that implanted microchips will become mainstream. This vision occurred during one of his deep and lucid dreams, in which he envisioned humans walking around in major cities with microchips implanted under their skin. This prediction is already seeing light, as recently a Wisconsin firm began embedding microchips in their employees in an attempt to ditch company badges and corporate logons. On the flip side, seemingly everyone else wants to know, is this what real life is going to be like soon at work? Will I be chipped? And that answer is, eventually, yes. Corporate businesses worldwide are now promoting the idea of handling cashless transactions. This would go beyond paying with your smartphone. Instead, chipped customers would simply wave their hands in lieu of Apple Pay and other mobile payment systems. The benefits don't stop there. In the future, consumers could zip through airport scanners sans passport or driver's license, open doors, start cars, and operate home automation systems. All of it, if the technology pans out, with the simple wave of a hand. A new King of England. While in a deep meditative trance, the great clairvoyant seer envisioned a new King of England in the year 2019. Queen Elizabeth II is the longest reigning living monarch in the world and is also the longest reigning monarch in British history. For many Britons, it is hard to imagine a future without our devoted Queen Elizabeth II, who has advised 13 prime ministers over more than 60 years. What Nostradamus did not mention was the reason for this occurrence. Will it be due to an illness or possibly death? Her son Prince Charles is the heir apparent and will become king the instant that his mother passes away. However, due to karmic reasons, he will not reign for too long. Prince William is second in line to the throne and is followed by his children Prince George and then Princess Charlotte. Ironically, the beloved Queen has already made plans for what's to occur after her death. Firstly, when the Queen's death is confirmed, a code word "London Bridge is down" will be used to inform the Prime Minister of the news. The Prime Minister will know this means Queen Elizabeth II has passed away and that a series of events will follow in what has been called Operation London Bridge. Life on the Moon. Nostradamus foresees humans living on the moon in the year 2019. This prediction is definitely coming true, as NASA is currently constructing an orbiting lunar base on the moon labeled as the Lunar Orbital Platform Gateway, in attempts to live on the planet in the year 2019. Half a century after the last Apollo astronauts left the moon, President Trump has ordered NASA to plan a return. Other spacefaring nations are planning lunar missions of their own, as are a handful of startups. Experts say the moon's low gravity and proximity to Earth, along with its natural resources, make it a perfect staging post for missions to Mars and other deep space destinations, as well as a new frontier for humans to settle. Area 51 alien outbreak. The heavily guarded top-secret facility known as Area 51, deep in the Nevada desert, will have a huge surprise, as an unexpected alien outbreak will undoubtedly occur in the year 2019. Area 51 has been used by American aviation authorities and government scientists since 1955 for purposes of UFO spacecraft and extraterrestrial research, and is closed off to those without top-level government security clearance. However, the U.S. government did not even admit the base existed until 2013, in a series of documents released as part of a Freedom of Information request, and it is heavily protected by armed guards. According to the late prophet, the alien breakout will consist of gray-skinned humanoids, about 3 to 4 feet tall, bald, with black almond-shaped eyes, and they will fail in covering this up from the media. Let's see what the future reveals.
We have been ripped off by China for a long time. And I told that to President Xi. I said, how did this ever happen? So we would do this and nobody would talk. We'd start off at a lower number, we'd raise it, nobody would ever complain until you came along, me. And they said, now you're doing more than complaining. We don't like what you're doing. You know, they think I'm doing maybe too much, but of course they're going to think that. But for many years, and I'm not just saying Obama, I'm saying Bush, and I'm saying long before, they had nobody. And it's very interesting because I actually asked them the question. So we're down 507. Recently, we're down $507 billion in trade deficits. How did it happen? And they told me nobody ever complained. Nobody ever talked.
This morning,